Rise and shine, everyone. It's currently 4 a.m. Do you ever have mornings where you can rise, but it's really, really tough to shine? I'm having one of those mornings. We're going to start with the beginner workout today, and hopefully by the end of that, I kind of start to feel a little bit more awake. Beginners are going to start with push-ups. Knee push-ups. If it's too difficult to start with push-ups right away, you need to do 15 total reps. If you can't get them all in one set, don't worry about it. Just a medium wide grip stance. Make sure to get your core tight, everything's engaged, line up, chest to the floor. You're going to do 15. And 15. When you've done that, you're going to stand up. We're going to go right into our first leg exercise, which is alternating lunges with a twist. So what you're going to do, you're going to stand feet parallel, hip width apart. You're going to make sure your toes are always pointing forward or out to the side, even when you take your big step forward. Take a big enough step so that you're up on your toe on your back foot. You're going to drop down, drop your back leg. You should feel your hip flexor opening. And you're going to twist towards your front leg. That's going to help open up that hip flexor that much more. You're going to come back up. Just hold that down. You're going to be alternating. Five per leg. Make sure to push off with your heel on that front foot. Put the weight, pressure in your heel when you're coming back up. What that's going to do, it's going to protect your knee joint. Use more of your posterior chain. Help you develop your hamstrings and glutes as equally as your quadriceps. When you're done that, you're going to get into a push-up position. The top part of the push-up position. You're just going to hold that for 30 seconds. So again, the whole point of this is a core exercise, so make sure your body's in line, your head's not down, you're not looking up to the sky, so your spine's too long. Just going to lengthen your spine as much as you can. Keep tight, breathe normally. You're going to hold that for 30 seconds. Keep it nice and tight. When you finish that, we're going to do what's called a wide stance good morning. This really helps open up those adductors, makes your hamstrings feel a little looser, opens up those hips a little bit. So you're going to adopt a pretty wide stance here. I'll show you my feet. Your feet are just slightly ducked out. This may be about 30 degrees outwards. What you're going to do, you can either put your hand on the back of your head. If that's too tough, you can have them out here to brace yourself. You're just going to come straight down. You're going to notice my back is completely straight. I don't bend at all. So you can come all the way down. If you can touch the floor, that's great. If not, don't worry about it. Having your hands behind your head opens up your chest a little bit, forces you to keep that back straight. So if you're having a hard time keeping your back straight, start by having your hands behind your head and come down. Just back up. You're going to do 10 of those with about a 1 second pause at the bottom of each rep. What that's going to do, it's going to really open up those hamstrings. You'll feel those adductors kind of loosening up a bit. The wider you go, the more you'll feel it in your adductors. But obviously be careful. If you can't keep your balance, don't push it too far. If you feel it in your back at all, likely you're doing it wrong. You have to keep it as straight as you can. Core is always braced. The more you brace that lower abdomen, the less that lower back is going to be engaged. When you're coming back up, make sure to squeeze the glutes and keep that posterior chain tight. Sound good? Cool. Now, I'm going to get you to end with shoulder dislocations, as I always do. you're going to do, you're going to take your band, your belt, your broomstick, whatever you have, as long as it's long and you can hold on to it. You're going to take it and you're going to do 10 shoulder dislocations per direction. You'll notice that I never bend my arms. If you notice that your grip is too narrow, what happens is, here I'll demonstrate, you end up having to bend one of your arms to get over. Just widen your grip a bit. Come all the way around. Make sure you do 10 of those. You can go a little bit slower if you want to feel it more. If you find that your chest is the tightest part, what I do sometimes is I'll come all the way around to about here, right where the tightest point in my chest is. I'll rotate my arms out even more, and I'll just go really slow with the band to help open up that chest a little bit. The extra resistance of the band will pull your arms back together, and it'll force that chest open. It feels really, really nice, and it's a really, really big help when you're doing push-ups all the time and you have a really tight chest. Doing those are really, really good for your posture. While I do say they're optional, I highly, highly recommend you do them. They're really good for your mobility and really, really good for your shoulder health overall. Now for everyone else who's doing these workouts, if you're not a total beginner, if you're a little more advanced, you want to try challenging yourself a little bit, you're going to start with 30 push-ups today. And you're going to do that same thing as the beginner workout. You're going to do it in as few sets as possible. So whenever you're ready, you can just rip about 30 push-ups. Remember, chest is touching the ground every time, or it doesn't count. So when you're done your 30 push-ups, get loose a bit. You're going to go straight into our first leg exercise. It's supposed to open up your groin. Those hip abductors, really, really good stretch. It's called a Cossack stretch. You're going to adopt that same wide stance that the beginners were doing for their good mornings. And what you're going to do is you're going to come low on one side. You can bring that other foot up, hold it down there for a second, come back up. You're going to do 5 per side. Get as low as you can. You always have to keep this body upright. Keep your core tight. Make sure that your back is straight when you're doing one. And that'll feel really, really good right in those adductors. You're just going to do 5 per leg. Don't come up on your toe like I just did there. You always want your weight in your heel. This is a general rule of thumb. I mean, if you're doing leg exercises, I'm usually telling people they keep their weight in their heel. What that does is it just changes the angle of the tibia a bit, makes it less quad dominant, protects your knees, hits your glutes a little bit harder, hits your posterior chain better. Just overall, it's a better call for leg stuff. When you're done that, we're going to be doing another leg exercise. It's a little difficult, but it's really good for shoulder mobility. We're doing single stiff leg deadlifts with an arm rotation. Now, you might be asking, what the hell is that? I'll show you. Basically, it's a single leg deadlift. You come down, but you keep your arms up by your side. Make sure you keep that back leg straight. Rotate your arms all the way around. If that's too difficult for you, just do a good morning. Keep your palms facing down. Come down, all the way around. Notice how I didn't bend my arms? It's just a shoulder rotation, trying to keep my arms up high as much as I can. What happens is, when you're in this top position, you're lengthening that spine a lot. So it becomes more challenging to hold that stretched position. It challenges the shoulders a little bit, makes them force into positions that they're not usually used to being in. It's pretty challenging. Again, if that's too hard for you, you don't have that shoulder mobility yet, just try it. And you know, if you can only come to about here and have to do that, that's fine. As long as you can line your arms up with the rest of your body, that's what we're looking for. When you're done that, shake it off a little bit, and when you're done, we're just going to finish off with 10 nice easy shoulder dislocations. We're going to start 2 seconds per side. Again, get a nice stretch in. Always try and challenge that grip a little bit. So always aim to go just a little bit closer together in your grip. If you can do it, go as close as you can without having to bend your arms. So 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2. So you're doing 10 of those. And that feels really good this morning, I gotta tell you. So when you're done 10 of those, you can shake it off. I have the list of extra stretches that you can do at the bottom in the description. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you tomorrow morning. Have a great day, guys.